Today we're going to be talking about business rules and how they are used in model-driven apps. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to go into the account entity in the model-driven app demo solution that we had created from earlier videos. So let's go into here, and we're going to go to business rules over here under customizations, and we're going to select business rule. It's going to open up a new window, and what business rules do is it allows you to add business logic within a form. So there's different scopes. So there's the entity scope and all forms, and then the different forms that you had created earlier. So the entity scope would be like if, for example, a entry is made in the form and you want the default value of a particular field to be a certain value. Um, all forms would be, for example, if you have let's say a value that you want to, or sorry, the visibility of a field within a form to be based off of some condition to be set to true or false. Um, so let's actually do an example. We're gonna do it at the entity level.
So we are going to have this business rule scoped to the to all forms. So we're going to select that. We are then going to name it demo rule, and we're going to put a description. We're going to set the field value for the credit limit on the form. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the condition. We're going to change the name. So check customer type. Okay, and we're going to do that at the account level, and we're going to look at a certain field. So in this case, we're going to look at the category field, and we're going to say equals and then value, and we're going to select preferred customer. Okay, and then we're going to click apply. Okay, you notice down here, once you click apply, the condition is now in this text view down here. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to go to components, and now we're going to drag in what action we're going to do. So in this case, we're going to set a field value. So we're going to set this, and we go to the true column. Okay, so if it's true, it's going to do this action. So in here, we're going to do set credit limit for preferred customers. Okay, so we're going to look here and we're going to select credit limit. And we're going to set this value. So you could set, there's a formula, you can clear the value, you can select another field. We are going to set the actual value. So let's select value, and then let's do, for the value, we're going to do $10,000. Okay, and we're going to click apply. And now we're going to set the false action. So in this case, we're going to click another component. We're going to set the field value down here. And we're going to change the name, set credit limit for standard customers. Okay, and we're going to select the credit limit field down here, and we're going to do 5,000 there. Okay, click apply. Okay, now we can save it. And it automatically validates, but we can click on validate as well. So we can do validation successful. And now what we can do is we can activate the business rule. So the business rule won't take effect unless it's activated. You also can't edit it unless you deactivate the business rule. So let's first activate it. And what we'll do in future videos is we'll explore these other types of actions that we can do. So for example, lock unlock. So if there's a certain condition that's met, you can make it so that a field is read-only or not, or editable. You can do custom validations. So if you if they enter let's say a phone number or something like that, and you want them to enter it a certain format, you can check, and then if it's wrong, then show an error message. You could also set fields to be required based off of another condition. For example, in this one, if they do select a customer type, we can make the credit limit field required. Also recommendations, so that is more like it's text underneath the field. So if we go into a form and we want some type of, when they click on the field, to display certain texts. And then set default value, that's mostly applicable to lookups. And then we already went over set visibility. So sometimes it takes a little time to activate the business rule. All right, while this activates, we'll take a little break. So the process activation confirmation window comes up. What you're going to want to do is click on activate. Okay, so now the business rule is activated. You can either close it, which is what we'll do, because we're going to test it, or we can just leave it open. Let's just leave it open for now. Okay, we're going to do done. You'll see the new business rule in the business rules section of the entity. So then let's go to the application that we made. Model-driven app. We'll select it. We're gonna push play. Okay, and now we're going to click on this one. Click over here. Okay. Now we're going to go to details. That's where it lives in here. So now you see it's here. We can go here, standard, changes the value. Preferred, 10. Standard, 5. And we do save and close. So now let's look at if we were to add a visibility action. All right, so let's do deactivate. Okay, and now let's do actually instead of that, let's do a business required field. So here we're gonna do here, right here, and we're gonna do if then set credit limit business required. Apply. And then we're also going to set the lock unlock. So we're going to do this. Make this the credit limit to lock. All right. So let's name this lock credit field. Okay, click apply. Click here, set business required. Actually, let's do credit limit required. I'm going to set that to true. Okay. And actually, let's move this down to here. So that's how you move the actions between the two conditions. So do apply, I do activate. Actually, cancel. Let's cancel that. Let's save it first. Okay, and now let's activate it. And click on activate. Okay. All right, so now let's go back to here. We can go back to overview. Let's do push all customizations. And then we're going to go here. We're going to, let's refresh the application. Let's select a record. Okay, let's go to details. All right. So you see that it's required now. So let's change this to preferred. And now it's read-only. Standard. So you notice this, once it changes, you have to actually unselect it. So in the condition. So in here, what we're going to do is add, we're going to deactivate it. Okay. It's going to deactivate. And what we're going to add is we're going to add some logic up here. So we're going to set the business required up here to not business required. We're going to do apply. And then up here, down here, what we're going to do is we're going to unlock it. Okay, so let's do here, unlock, bring this over. And we're going to select credit limit. And now we're going to do apply. Okay. And save. And activate. Okay. All right. So now let's go back to here. Let's refresh it. And now let's look at the behavior. Okay. So in here, standard. Okay, preferred, that, standard. So let's refresh it again. Okay, let's look at the rule. Okay. So let's deactivate it. Yeah, you see down here, lock credit limit, lock credit limit. So what we're going to do is we are going to change that for this one, unlock, apply, save, and now we're going to activate it. So now you have the conditions. Okay, so if we look down here, we're going to say, okay, if it's a preferred customer, then set the credit limit to 10,000, unlock the credit limit, set credit limit as business not required. If it's a standard customer, then set the credit limit to $5,000, set the credit limit as business required, and lock to the credit limit. So they can't change it. Okay, so let's push apply. We're going to save it. And now we're going to activate it. All right, so now let's test it. So let's go here, let's refresh the application. Let's go to details. All right, so if it's preferred, standard, preferred, nope. So let's refresh it again. Okay, so preferred. So let's do standard. Now it's locked. Credit limit set 5,000, read only. If it's preferred, it's unlocked, and you can set it to whatever value, but it still defaults to 10,000. All right. So now let's look at the visibility action. So let's say, okay, their preferred customer, the credit hold, let's just say that we want, if they're a preferred customer, to not, this value will just be not visible. So let's go here. Let's go back to our business rule. Let's deactivate the business rule. Okay. Now let's go to set visibility. So if it's a preferred customer, which just be up here. Okay, so now visibility, we're going to do the credit hold. We're going to say no. Okay. Always click apply. Okay. Now we're going to do another component. We're going to do set visibility, do the false. Okay. Now let's do credit hold. And we're going to do, let's do yes. So click apply, and then we can check the value, the business rule down here. So if it's a preferred customer, hide the credit hold field. If it's a standard customer, show the credit hold field. Okay, let's do apply. Let's first save it. So, or rename the action. So this would be set credit hold visibility to false. Okay, make sure you click apply. Right here, set credit hold visibility to true. All right, so now that we've done that, click apply, click save, and now we're going to reactivate it. So we click on activate. Okay, and now click on activate. Okay, so now let's go back to our model-driven app. Let's refresh it. Let's refresh it again. All right, so now you see the credit hold field is not there. Do standard, and now the credit hold field is there. All right, so let's save it. All right, let's now close the business rule authoring window. Let's just publish all customizations, and then we're done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and subscribe, and until next time.